Hi YouTube. Today I've got these 6 budget mini EDC pens. They're all available from Amazon, so they're easy to get. We're going to take a look at these, and if you stay around to the end, I've got a bonus mini pen to include as well. Let's start with a question, and that question is, why do we need a mini EDC pen at all? Why not just use a normal size pen? Well, this is my normal workbook that I have with me when I'm in the office, at my desk, and I like this because it's an A5 ring binder and I can use my Parker jotter. And this writes really nice, it's easy to get refills for, but it's not a great EDC pen for when I'm out and about. So the length is 130 millimeters. And I haven't weighed it, but it's a little bit on the heavy side to have in my pocket. I'd be bothered about pressing the button at the end and with the pen coming out, getting ink everywhere. So whilst this is great when I'm in the office or when I'm working from home, it's not so great as an EDC pen. And why do we need a small pen? Well, this fits well in my A5 notebook, but if you've got an EDC pouch, sorry for the noise, if you've got an EDC pouch like this Knipex one, then you want something smaller. The same with this pocket organizer. There's space for a pen, but the jotter would be too big. Or if I'm carrying a slip and I want to have a small knife and a pen, then I need something small that's going to fit in the slip in my pocket. Or with this one, this is the Viper VE10. It's just the right size to have Knipex pliers in, and these are 100 millimeters. So I'm looking for something that would fit in these pouches. So either a small slip, a pocket organizer, the Knipex pouch, or the Viperade VE10. So I've set myself some rules for this task. So the pen has to be easy to use. If it's too short or if it's too thin, then it's not so easy to write with. It's got to write okay. It's not something I will probably use all the time, but certainly when I'm out and about. I've set the size at ideally 100 millimeters or 4.5 inches or less, or pretty much close to that. And ideally it's one that you can get refills for. I don't really like disposable pens. I'll sort of put up with them if they're cheap. I forgot to say the budget as well. So the budget for this has got to be less than £20 for a pen, and ideally under 10 or close to 10. I know there are some pens out there that are extremely expensive, or in my opinion expensive, some that are over £100, but I'm just keen on the budget ones. So let's start by looking at the first one. This is the Olight O Pen Mini. I really like it. It comes in this fantastic red. It's pretty light as well, so it weighs 12 grams or 0.4 ounces. I also like this because it may be short, but it fits in the hand well, so it doesn't come too short down when I'm holding it. And it has this really nice mechanism here. So I really like this mechanism. I think as well, when it's in your pocket, it's not likely to open up either. It's got a fairly sturdy clip that's fairly strong, and the refills it takes are available from Olight. I think when I looked for the UK, the price was about just over £3 each. I think it's the same in dollars, more or less, and they are available on Amazon as well. So just to give the dimensions, this is 93 millimeters by 10 millimeters, so that's about 3 3/4 inches by about 3/8 of an inch. And the price for this new is $12.95. That was at the time of making this video, or $12.99 in pounds. So let's see how it writes. This is the O Light O pen mini. Yeah, it writes really well. This is the next pen. So this is the online mini twist ballpoint pen. So it comes in this red. I'm not sure if it's available in other colors. And as it says in the title, you twist it to get the point out. It's quite stiff to open, so I don't think it's going to come open in your pocket. It is a little on the small side. That's the only thing with this. The size is 80 millimeters. So I think this is the smallest of the selection, and it's 6 millimeters in diameter. So it's not bad to hold and to write with. Let's just give it a try. So this is the online mini twist. It writes nicely. You can get refills for it. It takes a D1 refill, and the weight is 7 grams or 0.2 ounces. And the cost $5 or it's £4. So quite nice. It's small, but it writes really easily. So that is the online mini twist ballpoint pen. The next mini pen we have is the Minin mini ballpoint pen. Now, I actually got one of these in an upmarket Christmas cracker ages ago, and I've been using it quite a lot in my EDC in some of my pouches. And then whilst researching for this video, I managed to find it on Amazon. You can't buy them singly, that's the only thing. So in the UK, they were £8 for 10, or in the US, they're $14 for 16 of them. I don't think that you can replace the refills, but at that cost, it's pretty cost effective. The size is 100 millimeters in length by 7 millimeters in diameter. So it's quite a comfortable write actually. Let's just open it up. It's a twist. And it's the Minin mini ballpoint. I think this is slightly thinner. It's a slightly smaller ball in the ballpoint, but it writes nicely, writes well on the post-it notes. Up to now, I've been using post-its as my EDC notepad. Now, I will be looking at something different because I think I can do better than just carrying a few post-it notes with me, but that will be in a future video. So I think that's pretty good. Weighs in at 7 grams or 0.2 ounces. That is the Minin mini ballpoint. Next up, we have the Zebra Mini. So this is made in Japan, and it's push to open, and you press the clip to make it go back in. Now, the only thing about this is that I think the clip feels a little bit flimsy, and I think that might break off with use. I've used it a little bit without a problem. Size-wise, it's 100 millimeters by 5 millimeters, and it does feel fairly thin in my hand when I try to use it. Cost-wise, it's cheaper in the US. It was $5. In the UK, it's nearly £8. The weight is 8 grams or 0.3 ounces. And writing, as you would expect, being a zebra pen, it writes really well. Certainly has no problem writing on post-it notes. So that's the Zebra Mini. If you want the replacement refill for this, it's a 4C refill. Next, we have the Ohto Minimo. Now, I think this is the lightest, and it weighs in at an incredible 3 grams or 0.1 ounces. Size-wise, it's 90 millimeters in total length by about 3.5 to 4 millimeters. Now, this is the only thing I don't like about this, and I really wanted this because I've seen this in some other videos, and it has a really nice action with a push button and then a side button to close it again. It's got a nice clip, which is nice and small, but the only thing I find is that in my hand, it's not so comfortable. So it's the Minimo from Ohto. It's got quite a thin ball, as you might expect. It's not quite comfortable enough. I wouldn't want to do a lot of writing with this. It will be fine for the occasional notes, but not great overall. Cost-wise, on Amazon, this is $6 or just under £10. One of the big benefits with this, though, is that it comes with a holder that's credit card size. So let's just put that away. So you can see that fits in there really nicely. So if you've got a wallet, it fits in perfectly in any credit card slot. So if you're putting together a small wallet size toolkit or EDC, this is absolutely perfect for that. So I really like that. I really like the idea of the credit card holder. So that's the Minimo from Ohto. So there's just one more in this set of 6 mini pens. And this isn't quite a mini pen, and it doesn't quite meet the criteria. It's certainly a little bit over 100 millimeters. It's actually 105 millimeters when closed. It's also the heaviest here. It's 27 grams or 0.9 ounces. So this is the Zebra Expandz. But what I like about this is that when you pull it open, it's 130 millimeters. So it's the size of my Parker Jotter. It also writes really well. And I think this writes one of the nicest. Being heavy, it's a good weight in your hands. It's a nice size. It fits perfectly. It's easy to hold, but it does take up more room. Cost-wise, it comes in at $10 or £6.50. But if you've got something where weight isn't a premium, and in fact, if you want a pen that's slightly thicker in size, if you compare this to the Olight Mini O pen, so it's only slightly longer, it's a fair bit heavier, but with that length, it does make it nicer to write with. So if you've got the right application for this, then I think that could work really well. So that's the Zebra Expandz. Now, as I said at the start, I did promise a bonus mini pen. Now, this is the most expensive, but it's not just a pen. So here we have my Midnight Manager, and as well as being a 58mm Victorinox multi-tool and having a lot of other things, which if you check out my other videos, you'll see all of the wonderful tools on this, but it does come with a pen, with a pressurized refill. And if you open up the nail file, this is perfect for writing with. As you can see, it writes really nicely. This is the most expensive. Now in the US, this comes in at about $55 at the time of making this video. You can get it as low as £36 in the UK. But with the other tools, including the torch and the mini multi-tool and a blade and a nail file and scissors, it's an amazing multi-tool. So having the pen on this as well makes it great. And as this pretty much never leaves my fifth pocket or my normal trouser pocket, then it's a great carry and a great mini pen as well. It was a little bit outside of the brief for this, and I can't really call it budget, but in some ways you might say, well, it comes free with a great little pocket knife. If you don't want to pay as much as this, you can get a cheaper version. You can get the Signature Light, which is about $36 or about £30. That's pretty much the same, but I think it's without the multi-tool. Check it out on Amazon or in Victorinox. I'll put a link down below. In fact, there'll be a link to all of the pens I've shown so far, and all of them you can get on Amazon, so they're really easy to buy. I hope you found this useful. Let's just have a look to see how these EDC pens would work in a pouch or in a wallet. So as I showed earlier, the Minimo fits really well in a wallet. You could fit any of these other thin pens in as well. You can see they fit in really nicely. So that's one of the good things about these. Also with a slip, if I've got a knife in there, it would be really easy to fit one of these smaller pens in as well. So either the Zebra or the Minin, or even the Olight Mini fits in there, tucks away really well. So if you're looking for something to go in a slip. Similarly with the Nipex pouch. Now the only thing with this is when you've got some tools in there, maybe a flashlight as well, you need to have a slightly thicker pen to fit in there. So this is where the Zebra Expandz works really well, or the Olight Mini. So that fits in well in that side pocket. Alternatively, if you put a tool in there, you could have one of the smaller tools down the back really easily. Even the online, that fits in nicely at the back, but it's a little bit small. I think there's a chance of it getting lost there, although it does clip in fairly well. So that works well with that sort of pouch. With this pocket organizer, again, the thicker pens work quite well. They fit in that nicely. The Olight pen fits in there. Some of the thinner pens, not quite so good. It's getting the position right. Actually, the online one works because it's so small. It does clip in really easily there without it digging in your pocket. And then the last application, the Viperade pouch. So there's plenty of space in there. So any of these can fit in really easily, whether they're the larger ones or the smaller ones. In fact, this pouch is perfect for your EDC pen collection. So you can put a number of these in, and there's even space for the Minimo on the outside as well. And of course, my Midnight Manager goes back into my fifth pocket. If you haven't already got a budget EDC mini pen, I don't think you need to look any further than these. They're all at a really good price. They're easily available all on Amazon, and the links to them are in the description below. I hope you found this interesting. If you have, please hit the like, then I know to make more content like this. I have got an idea to do some mini pocket notepads that are ideal for EDC, something a bit better than the post-it notes that I've been using. If you like that, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.